Can you see me now? Let me know if you got a good signal. I just popped on this live broadcast here. We're live at the ACCA events 2021 here at Whiteside County Airport, Illinois. And today, this evening, we're going to go fly Dan Gryders DC-3. I'm in that DC-3 right now. Give you a real quick tour. I'll have a more complete video here in a moment. Let me know if you can see and hear all of this okay. All right, so we'll start here with the cockpit of the DC-3. I'll have them. All right. Hey, thanks. Can you guys hear everything okay? The signal and the sound is okay? Loud and clear. Copy that. All right. Here's your quick cockpit tour of the DC-3. Let me back up here a little bit, because you got to see a few things before getting in here. Back here, we got the alcohol for the propeller. I don't think that's working right now. That's your propeller de-ice. Right here, we got your hydraulic system reservoir right there. Here's the hydraulic quantity. Looks good. Hydraulic pressures here and here. It looks like you fill it, service it right there. Down here, we got one of these is the gear and one of these is the flaps. Dan Gryder will be sorting that out. I'll be in the left seat here this afternoon, and he'll be flipping the gear for me. I believe this is emergency gear extension or additional hand pump pressure if and you need it. Coming up here, we got throttles, props, and mixture. Elevator trim, rudder trim, aileron trim located down below. Left fuel selector on the left main, right fuel selector, or correction, right engine fuel selector on the main tanks. Left engine fuel selector on the main tanks. Conventional instruments up front here. The whole thing about operating these old airplanes, fix that zoom on that camera a little bit here. The whole thing about operating these old airplanes is keeping the engines happy, keeping the temperatures happy, because right outside your cockpit is the Pratt & Whitney 1830 radial engines, twin wasp radial engines located right there. It's hot and humid here today. It's about 85 degrees and 50% humidity. I'm sweating like crazy. I'm not used to this heat and temperature. So if you're just joining us, we're live here at the ACCAs, just getting started in Whiteside County Airport, Illinois. Dan Gryders got a whole air show set up here this weekend, the weekend prior to going to Oshkosh. And tonight we're going to fly the DC-3. I'm going to be in the left seat, Dan Gryder in the right seat. So back to our cockpit tour here. Manifold pressure. We're going to be using about 40 inches of manifold pressure for takeoff, as these things are supercharged engines. It looks like the red line on that takes it clear up to about 48 inches. Yeah, DC-3s, man, super famous airplanes. Everybody's got a DC-3 story. Everybody's family has a DC-3 story or a C-47 story, the military variant. Fuel pressure located there, oil pressure located there. Cylinder head temperatures right there. Correction, oil temperatures left and right there. Cylinder head temperatures right there. Carburetor air temperatures right there. Outside air temperature right there. Gear indicator there, flap indicator right here. I think we'll start with half flaps, and we'll get the briefing from Dan here in a minute about how exactly he wants to operate this thing. The basic numbers I got right now is about rotated about 85 miles per hour, and blue line, say best single engine rate of climb speed about 95 miles an hour is what we'll be using. We've got a 6,000 foot runway by 150 feet wide here at Whiteside County Airport, so plenty of room and light winds. Additional hydraulic pressure indications here. Looks like a couple of shutoffs right here. And oh yeah, up here we got the traditional old school style mag switches. So left engine mags, left, right, both and off. Right engine mags, and then a master for both mags right there. Now to feather these engines, you punch the feather buttons located right here. So if you, unlike more conventional aircraft where you just feather the propellers from here on the prop controls, you use the buttons mashed here. Cowl flaps, that's a good question. Where in the hell's the cowl flap lever? We'll have to get that from briefing from Dan as well. So we got, looks like a battery on, and then avionics and lights. And then over here we should have starters for starting the engines. Boost pumps, that's what we're looking for to get our fuel pressure up to get these things started. Generator switches, pitot heat, instrument lights. Plenty of ways to get out of the aircraft if we need to. Both of these side windows open up here and here. We got an overhead hatch that opens up here. Are the two valves on the co-pilot side. All right, we'll look for those we'll let Dan deal with those cowl flaps to help keep those engines happy. The cowl flaps that he's referring to are these flaps right here that aids in cooling the engines at slow air speeds, keeping the cylinder heads happy. And that's mostly what we're going to be managing today, is engine management, keeping those two 1830. These are the Pratt & Whitney twin wasp radial engines. All right, coming down the inside of the aircraft, he's got it set up for passenger hauling here. I think we'll put the wife and kids back here today for a tour while we're flying it. But back here, we can't not go beyond this, because Dan has got this set up for skydiving. The skydiving door is open, and it's going to remain that way. Now, let me see if I can get out of here. So we're putting some fuel on board the aircraft now. We're putting about 100 gallons of fuel per side, so we can go beat up around the pattern. 97-foot wingspan. Empty weight on this, I don't know what the empty weight on this one is, but it should be something around 15 or 16,000 pounds. Gross weight probably something around, what, around 25,000 pounds. We got to check in with Mikey McBrien from Plane Savers to get all these numbers right. Here's where the outer wing panels attach. The control surfaces are still fabric. Of course, the rest of the aircraft is aluminum monocoque construction. Look at the team, man. They all got their matching colors and everything. Wolfie, how you doing, man? We're going live. All right. Some of these had boots for de-icing. This one does not. Yeah, take the pins out. We got the controls locked. It's a giant twin engine tail dragger, so there's your retractable main landing gear system. And up in here, as I recall working on them, there's the hydraulic actuator to retract the gear. I was working on a Super Dug once that had a big bungee system in here that scared the hell out of me as a kid when I was in there working on it. I don't see it in Dan's DC-3 here. Exhaust, oil cooler. There's the 1830 with the Hamilton Standard prop. Check out all the dings over the years. That's from ice slinging off of the propeller and beating up the side of the fuselage. Just a beast of an airplane. Is that all looking focused all right? Yeah, that's right. Most important airplane ever. Yeah, so this was originally designed, you know, the CEO of American Airlines at the time, C.R. Smith, on a long phone conversation and a cocktail napkin sketch with Donald Douglas, said, we need a new design, a sleeper design for transcontinental flights across the United States to replace the DC-2 and the Curtiss Condor biplanes that they were flying at the time. C.R. Smith said, if you design this aircraft, we'll take 20 of them. And so they did. They designed the DC-3 as a sleeper. And it would do the transcontinental route west to east, following the winds in about 15 hours and 3 fuel stops. East to west, it took them about 18 hours. Today in the 777, I can make that same route in about 4.5 hours at 0.84 Mach, burning in the 300 series, 1,000 gallons per hour per engine. But still, hauling 317 people makes it a very efficient operation. So that's some of the facts and figures on the DC-3. We're getting everybody checked in here to ACCA 2021, this giant team of RVs showed up. Formation, I think it's going to be a formation aerobatic team. They're all getting checked in right now. We made it over here. We hand flew a very special aircraft over here this weekend, and made it over here in two legs, one hop, one overnight in Casper, Wyoming, and we're here today. So yeah, I got to get what the history of this particular bird is, what year it is, how Dan came to acquire it. He's been doing DC-3 instruction out of this aircraft for quite a few years. He's owned it for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years. It's a huge commitment and an undertaking to caretake one of these things. He just changed recently one of the props or engines on this thing, and it's just a ton of work. Hard work working on these old airplanes, keeping them flying. So we'll get the history on all that and give it to you. I don't know how to broadcast live the actual flight. I think I'll just record some of it and come back and give you the debrief later on. I've never flown the DC-3 before. I've flown some multi-engine prop aircraft, Beechcraft Barons and Cessna 310s and that sort of thing. Most of my twin engine time has all been twin turboprop jet time. So remember, you got to fly the tail. You got to pick the tail up on this thing, get it in the proper takeoff attitude before you blast off. And we'll be doing wheel landings as well. And nothing moves fast in this airplane. It should be just a big, gentle, Super Cub style handling characteristics to it. So stay tuned for all that. Stay tuned for a weekend. I'll just be blasting all these live updates all weekend long out here at the ACCAs as we get more and more people. But it's a real treat to come out here early to get to go fly this amazing DC-3, my first time ever. We'll see you here. Thanks again so much for your support of this channel and over at Patreon. See you here.